Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Neutral Zone. This is your host, Zachary Puplis, speaking. Adam Karnick is off for the night. Tonight, we're going to talk about Rask retirement, Coyotes' new stadium, question mark, how a Michigan State hockey jersey found its way into a Chevy ad, the Kraken going to have the first all-black TV broadcast, and 20 burning questions headed into this season's final months. All that and more coming up on the Neutral Zone. And we're back. Welcome back to the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host tonight, Zachary Puplis. Adam Karnick is off. He is under the weather. We wish him the best, and we hope he feels better. We got a lot to get into tonight, but first, let's do a little housekeeping and thank our sponsors. We want to thank the Southern California Warriors semi-pro football team. The world of semi-pro sports is unlike any other sports organizations. Players pay to play in hopes of so many different outcomes, whether it's playing to get filmed to try out for professional teams, big-time colleges, or just playing to stay in shape. No matter what, all semi-pro players have one thing in common, and that's playing for the love of the game. The SoCal Warriors have been on a quest to earn titles and give players second chances since 2017. Whether you're in Southern California or anywhere in the world, give semi-pro sports a chance if you love your sport. Excuse me, you may get that second chance you've been waiting for as an athlete. You can find them on all the socials at SoCal Warriors on Twitter, at Southern California _Warriors on Instagram, or on Facebook, Southern California Warriors. We also want to thank Background Check International. Businesses, are you looking to background check a new hire? Let Kit Freeman take care of that for you. Kit founded and has managed Background Check International since 1994, and he's here to help you with the screening process. Contact Kit and let him make the hiring process that much easier. This business is used for professional background checks and not for the use of any crime, such as illegal activity or identity theft. You can find him on Facebook, Background Check International, BCI, or on his website, bcint.com. A little bit about us. For the last 7.5 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all the major sports cities around the country. All the while, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and with your help, we're ready to take the next step. When you go to our website, iesportsradio.com, again, that's iesportsradio.com, you'll see our Patreon link with 5 different tiers. The first one starting at just $5 a month. This donation gets you shout-outs on all 32 of our shows. Higher tiers include IE Sports Radio merchandise, such as Christmas ornaments, access to our podcasting university, and even a chance to be featured on a segment of our flagship show, The Defining Moment. Thank you all very much for continuing to make IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. We want to thank our fan of the month, at Spuds Chat. He is a Rams fan in San Diego. He's been a guest on 3 and Out throughout the playoffs. All right, well, let's get into it. Last month we had a couple really good articles about diversity and with Martin Luther King Day and the Willie O'Ree tribute in Boston. Well, next we have NHL's first all-black TV broadcast. This was from yesterday on ESPN by Kristen Schulten. This is going to be a Seattle Kraken game, looks like. So, JT Brown and Everett Fitzhugh are about to make history. The duo is set to host the NHL's, my apologies, first ever all-black television broadcast, taking place when the Seattle Kraken face the Winnipeg Jets on Thursday. Fitzhugh is usually the Kraken's radio play-by-play announcer, and will be joining Brown, a regular Kraken analyst, on the TV side. Seattle's incumbent television play-by-play voice, John Forslund, will be working on a different network Thursday night. That created an opportunity for Fitzhugh and Brown to collaborate in a truly meaningful way. It all goes back to representation matters. That's the overarching theme here, Fitzhugh told NHL.com. I didn't have black broadcasters and play-by-play people to look up to when I was growing up. I didn't know play-by-play was an option until I got to college, as far as a career goes. So to have that stage, to have that platform with Brown, and to show people that, hey, there are two black men calling hockey games, is something I think will hopefully inspire other people. Everett paid his dues at every level of hockey broadcasting, announcing games in the ECHL, the USHL, and the NCAA. He was also director of media relations for the ECHL Cincinnati Cyclones and was part of the broadcasting crew at the 2018 ECHL All-Star Game. The breadth of Everett's work got him on the Kraken's radar, and in August 2020, the NHL's 32nd franchise hired him to become the league's first full-time black broadcaster and the only black play-by-play announcer in professional hockey. Now he's hooking up with Brown, a comparative newbie in the broadcasting sphere. Brown transitioned behind the mic after playing 7 seasons in the NHL for Tampa Bay, Anaheim, and Minnesota. He called it a career after spending the 2020-2021 season in Sweden, having tallied 72 points in 365 NHL games. Seattle hired Brown to be its first TV analyst in June of 2021. On the same day, Brown announced his retirement from playing. He and Fitzhugh immediately formed an easy bond, which will be on full display for others come Thursday. To be able to call a game and share a booth with my friend, that's what I'm most excited about with this whole thing, Fitzhugh said. That's really cool. Brown undoubtedly feels the same, and like Fitzhugh, is hoping their moment in the spotlight will lead to increased visibility for minority broadcasters throughout hockey. It's the baby steps, moving the needle, Brown said. I think the league as a whole is taking steps to feel more inclusive, and this can be one of them. Having black play-by-play and color commentaries, I think it's a big thing just for visual representation. The end. Like he said earlier in the article, he didn't have black broadcasters and play-by-play people to look up to when he was growing up. So he didn't even know it was an option. So it's great that we can have that for future generations of hockey players to look at, or hockey broadcasters to look into, to aspire to. There we go. Very cool. From diversity to Willie O'Ree to the Boston Bruins, that brings us to another Bruin who was in the news recently. After an injury and about 6 months away from the game, Tuukka Rask officially retires from Boston Bruins, walks away from the, quote, best sports city in the world. And yeah, that's a legit claim. I go along with that. That's legitimate. Boston Bruins goalie Tuukka Rask has officially announced his retirement from the NHL. The longtime netminder released a lengthy statement on social media last Wednesday the 9th, calling it a career after 15 seasons. The news comes one day after rumors began to swirl that Rask was considering hanging up his skates following a brief comeback attempt last month. The 34-year-old was an unrestricted free agent over the summer when he chose to undergo hip surgery meant to support an eventual return to game action. Rask was able to start skating again in November, and he signed a one-year, $1 million contract with Boston on January 11th. So, just over a month ago, we were talking about this. He backstopped the Bruins to a 3-2 win over the Philadelphia Flyers in his season debut and didn't admit publicly to feeling any physical discomfort afterwards. The grind of another NHL campaign quickly seemed to take its toll, though. Rask was pulled from his next start after allowing 5 goals on 12 shots to the Carolina Hurricanes, but did secure another win over the Winnipeg Jets. The situation for Rask began deteriorating again from there, and he moved to a backup role behind Linus Ullmark before being removed from the lineup entirely prior to the NHL All-Star break. The Bruins hoped that, with some rest, Rask might still be up to the task of helping them through the second half. As Rask himself explained in Wednesday's release, it just wasn't meant to be. Quote, "Today is a day that I hoped would never come, but now that it's here, I feel I owe it to everyone to hear it from me. When I made the decision to have surgery on my hip last summer, I did so knowing that the road to recovery would be challenging. I also knew it was something I would have to do if I wanted to give myself a chance to ever play my best hockey again. The rehab, the workouts, the practices, all of it was with the intention of getting back to where I needed to be to help my teammates win games and make another run at the Stanley Cup. Over these last few weeks, I've realized that my body is not responding the way it needs to for me to play at the level I expect of myself and that my teammates and Bruins fans deserve. Therefore, it is with a heavy heart that I announce my retirement from the game of hockey." Originally drafted by Toronto 21st overall in the 2005 entry draft, Rask was traded to Boston before ever suiting up for the Leafs and made his NHL debut for the Boston Bruins in November 2007. When he was headed for unrestricted free agency last July, Rask was clear that once his health was addressed, he wouldn't consider signing anywhere else. It was Boston or bust. Side note, we talked about that last month when he came back, that he didn't want to go anywhere else. I mean, these are the guys that he grew up playing with. He's been there for how many years now? 15 seasons practically. So yeah, of course he wants to stay with that tight-knit group of guys. I can't blame him. Rask now leaves the game as a Stanley Cup champion in 2011, a Vezina Trophy winner in 2014, and with a .306, .163, and .66 mark in 560 career appearances. Quote, "While I am sad to say goodbye to the game I love, I am so very thankful to have shared these last 15 years with the greatest teammates and fans in the best sports city in the world," Rask added in his statement. "We have shared so many special memories over the years, bringing the cup back to Boston in 2011, our runs to the final in 13 and 19, playing overseas in the Czech Republic, Northern Ireland, and China, and of course, the Winter Classics. I am also so thankful that I was able to represent Finland on the world stage and win a bronze medal in the 2014 Olympics. While these experiences were all incredible, what I will remember most about all of them is the bond I had with my teammates, coaches, and team staffs, the memories that we will always have, and the friendships that will last a lifetime. Through all the ups and downs, I'm so grateful for all the support that this team and the people of Boston have given me. I will miss everything that comes with representing the Boston Bruins. But now I'm excited to spend more time with my family and friends who never stop supporting my dream. Boston is special for me for so many reasons and will always be our adopted home. We look forward to remaining a part of this amazing community. I especially want to thank the Jacobs family, Cam Neely, Don Sweeney, my coaches, the equipment staff, and the rest of the team, support staff, for all they have done for me throughout my time with the Boston Bruins organization. I've never wanted to play for any other team. I'm so proud to have worn the spoked B for my entire career and wouldn't have it any other way. Jeremy Swayman, who began the season with the Bruins before being sent down to the AHL when Rask was activated, will team up with Allmark as the Bruins battle for playoff positioning in the Eastern Conference. Allmark has 16 wins this season, and Swayman has 8. With that being said, let's take a look at what's going on around the league. So far tonight, we have quite a few games going on. The Blues are beating the Senators 4-2 in the third. Lightning are up 6-3 over the Devils, also in the third. Flyers up 4-2 over the Penguins in the third period. Ooh, go Flyers. That could be an upset brewing. Islanders and Sabres are tied 3-3 in the third. Bruins and Rangers are tied 1-1 in the third. Speaking of Tucker Rask, Capitals Predators are up. Capitals are up 1-0 over the Predators in the second. Flames are up 1-0 over the Blue Jackets in the first. And Stars and Avalanche are scoreless in the first, with Oilers and Kings to come later tonight at 10:30. All right. We are going to take a quick break, and we will be back.
From the shores of the Puget Sound to the rushing waters of the Columbia River, stretching across the Great Cascades, and on IE Sports Radio lives the Northwest Territory Sports Show, hosted by me, Brad Buckingham. On this show, I cover all the great collegiate and professional sport teams that we have here in the Pacific Northwest. Of course, I'm talking about the Seattle Seahawks, Seattle Mariners, Sounders, and even the Seattle Kraken. But I can't forget all of that is good in Oregon either. I got the Trailblazers, the Oregon Ducks, the Beavers, even the Timbers, and much, much more. You can listen to the show every Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern, noon to 1 p.m. Pacific on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Are you a Minnesota sports fan? If you are, you should join me, AJ, on my Thursday night podcast called Frozen Takes with AJ on IU Sports Radio. I talk about all things Minnesota sports, from the Vikings to Lynx basketball. Every week I talk about the good and the bad of sports in the land of the frozen lakes. Join me Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for your Minnesota sports show on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What is going on, everybody? This is Ben Matello, the host of the Yinza Report, right here on IE Sports Radio. I'm bringing you the latest in the Steel City, the City of Champions, from the Steelers, the Penguins, the Pirates, as well as the college game with both Penn State and Pitt. You could join me every Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here on IE Sports Radio, where I'll be talking about everything from the Steel City, the City of Champions, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's up, sports fans? Are you looking for the latest on Northern California sports? Then take a trip out west with me, your host, Gina G, on Reppin' the NorCal Sports, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'll be bringing it to you all the way live every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And it's always a packed show. I'll bring you everything Dynastic 49ers, the bite of the San Jose Sharks, torture of the San Francisco Giants, the Golden State Warriors that we still believe. Then take you across the bay to the rise and grind of the Oakland A's. I've got you covered on college ball from the Cal Bears to the Stanford Cardinal, so that no matter what, reppin' in NorCal sports is always reppin' the Bay. So if you bleed red and gold, or you're looking to keep an eye out west in them thar hills, don't miss me, Gina G, on reppin' in NorCal sports. Catch me every Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and I'll have your fandom repped harder than a trio of defenders guarding Stephen Curry before his buzzer beater is Gucci.
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS, the SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Taryn Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And we're back to the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm Zachary Publis hosting tonight. Adam Karnick is off for the night, under the weather. We wish him the best. We hope he feels better. But we got lots to talk about. So let's get back into it. As of yesterday, ESPN reports that Jack Eichel is set to make his Vegas Golden Knights debut tomorrow. How exciting. Wow, that was a quick recovery. That or time flies. Could be both. Jack Eichel will debut for the Vegas Golden Knights on Wednesday in a home game against the Colorado Avalanche. Vegas general manager Kelly McCrimmon announced Monday. Quote, I always had the date circled for a while. I just had to go through all the protocols, Eichel said. I just feel like I'm back at that point where I'm ready to play. I just want to get back out there and get the confidence back in playing a game. Eichel, who was acquired in a trade with the Buffalo Sabres in November, has not played in an NHL game in nearly a year, last suiting up on March 7th, 2021. I'm sure there'll be a lot of emotions come Wednesday. I'm already starting to feel them, said Eichel, who noted it has been the longest layoff in his hockey career. I'm just trying to be realistic with myself and my expectations. I haven't played in 11 months. And with no preseason games, and I'm jumping in against the best team in the league right now. Whew. End quote. Eichel, 25, underwent artificial disc replacement surgery to repair a herniated disc in his neck on November 12th, a procedure that had never been performed on an NHL player. McCrimmon said that there are a lot of people skeptical about Eichel's surgery, but in the medical world, things are changing all the time. He was the pioneer in terms of this particular surgery, and so far, it has turned out to be a really good one. At practice on Monday, Eichel was slotted on the first line alongside Max Pacioretty. The Golden Knights took to Twitter to get fans ready for Eichel's debut. Coming soon, their tweet says. In a corresponding move, Vegas placed captain Mark Stone on a long-term injured reserve. The Golden Knights were over the $81.5 million salary cap, but Stone's like that matters with the Lightning last year. But Stone's $9.5 million salary will not count against the cap while he is sidelined, helping clear the way for Eichel, $10 million cap hit, to debut. The Golden Knights said that Stone had back issues dating to last year's playoffs, and he has seen numerous specialists across North America. Stone has been on and off the ice this season as he's worked through the injury, including missing a month on injured reserve. Stone has played back-to-back games only once this season. Quote from McCrimmon says, it's difficult to define exactly what the issue is. I think that's what's really frustrating for Mark. And yet that's the type of thing we need to get to the bottom of, and that takes time. McCrimmon said he does not know how much time Stone will need after the mandatory 10 games and 24 days required for long-term injured reserve. Vegas still has defenseman Alec Martinez, $5.25 million cap hit, on long-term injured reserve. McCrimmon said it has been frustrating to get a diagnosis for Martinez, who suffered a face laceration in a game against the Minnesota Wild in mid-November. This guy rode a scooter for the entire 2021 playoffs. He got off the scooter to get into the rink and get his foot frozen, played 3 rounds of the Stanley Cup playoffs without practice, game day skating, or even taking a step, McCrimmon said. He's one of the toughest hockey players I've ever been around. I've heard speculation we're holding Alec out for salary cap reasons. I can't imagine this guy not playing when he's ready to play. He'd break the door down. End quote. Those salary cap questions will linger for the Golden Knights, just like they did for the Tampa Bay Lightning this last season. The Lightning won the Stanley Cup last year despite star sniper Nikita Kucherov missing the entire regular season on injured reserve after hip surgery. Kucherov returned to play in the playoffs when the salary cap becomes moot. Oh, is that why? I did not realize. Okay. Thought that was for the whole season, but I guess it does not matter in the playoffs. The NHL investigated the circumstances around Kucherov's injury and timing and found no wrongdoing. Eichel missed the final 33 games of last season because of the herniated disc in his neck. That injury led to a rift between Eichel and Sabres management. Sabres preferred Eichel to receive a fusion surgery, which would have had him back on the ice in 6 months. Eichel's doctors suggested a disc replacement surgery, which would have had him sidelined for a shorter period of time and carried a much lower risk that the center would need future surgeries later in life. The Sabres weren't comfortable letting Eichel become the first player in the NHL to receive an artificial disc surgery. Buffalo stripped Eichel of his captaincy this year and helped facilitate the November 4th trade to the Golden Knights, which allowed Eichel to get his preferred surgery 8 days later. Since then, Chicago Blackhawks forward... Oh, come on. Oh, dang, where'd it go? There we go. Since then, Chicago Blackhawks forward Tyler Johnson also had artificial disc replacement surgery. The return for Buffalo in the Eichel trade was Peyton Krebs, Alex Tuch, and a future first-round draft pick and a future second-rounder. Vegas received a future third-round draft pick along with Eichel as part of the deal. All right, from the Vegas Golden Knights, we head south to Phoenix, Arizona. The Coyotes and Arizona State reach a multi-year agreement to play home games at the Sun Devils' new arena. The Coyotes will begin calling Arizona State home when the 2022-23 season begins. The Arizona Coyotes have reached a multi-year agreement that will allow the team to play their home games at Arizona State, according to an announcement from the team. The Coyotes will begin utilizing the university's new multi-purpose stadium beginning at the start of the 22-23 season. The franchise will play their home games alongside Arizona State for at least the next 3 seasons. The two sides reached an agreement for the Coyotes to play at the multi-purpose stadium through the 24-25 NHL season with an option for the 25-26 campaign. We are thrilled that we have arranged to play our home games in Arizona State University's new multi-purpose arena starting next season, Coyotes president and CEO Xavier Gutierrez said. Xavier A. Gutierrez. This will be an incredible, intimate, and exciting fan experience in a state-of-the-art new arena in a fantastic location in the heart of Tempe. On Thursday, the Arizona Board of Regents approved the agreement. Arizona State's new arena is slated to be completed this fall and will hold 5,000 spectators. The Coyotes had been searching for a new arena to call home after the city of Glendale announced last August that it wasn't renewing its operating agreement with the team beyond the 21-22 season. The NHL franchise has played its home games at Gila River Arena since the 03-04 season. The NHL thanks Arizona State University for its support of the Coyotes during this transition period and for what will be just its latest major commitment to growing our game in the Valley, NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman added. Having made the full-time transition to Division I just 7 years ago, ASU hockey already has an NCAA tournament appearance to its credit and now is moving into a new state-of-the-art facility. The Coyotes have also submitted a bid for 2 plots of land in Tempe and are hopeful that they can acquire that space to build a new arena. From Arizona State, we transition to Michigan State. Many of you have probably seen the Chevy commercials with the cat who acts like he's a dog. And at the tail end, the cat's doing something remarkable, and somebody comments on it, and the guy says, "Oh, that's just the new Chevy blah, 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 and check out this tailgate. Oh, my gosh, it has 5 different functions, blah, 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 blah." And the guy's like, "No, I mean the cat." And he says, "The cat? What about it? He's just a cat." It's like people have never seen a cat before. Well, they have a sequel out now, and it happens to include a Michigan State hockey jersey. So this is like the Venn diagram of my two shows. So this hockey podcast, Neutral Zone, and my Detroit podcast that I do Thursday nights here also on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Shameless plug. Also, you can find us all on Twitter. Me at The Pupless, or the Detroit Show at IESR_Detroit, or look for the Neutral Zone on Twitter for this show. So, let's get into it. How a Michigan State hockey jersey found its way into Chevrolet's newest ad campaign. By Ryan Black. This is from the Lansing State Journal recently. A week and a half ago maybe. So, only a handful of people around the country knew Michigan State's hockey program would have a cameo in Chevrolet's latest television commercial, highlighting its line of Silverado pickup trucks. Scott Schlesinger was one of those chosen few, and the only one in his office at Michigan State. The minute-long ad, which began airing Sunday during the NFL Conference Championship games, so a couple weeks back then, features the return of Walter, the cat that acts like a dog. One scene is set on an ice pond where Walter and his owner play hockey. When the camera cuts to a close-up of the owner, he is sporting a Michigan State hockey jersey. What? The appearance came together, Schlesinger said, because of his long history working with General Motors on Michigan State's behalf. A couple of my contacts over at GM got a hold of me and said that they were filming a commercial with a winter theme and that they were going to have a pond hockey portion of it, said Schlesinger, an associate athletic director of sales and marketing. They asked me if we'd be willing to join in with them. We value our partnership with GM. It's an incredible organization, and we're very happy to be partners with them. So immediately I said, well, yes, I'd love to do that. Yes, I would love to do that. Schlesinger played for the Spartans soccer program from 91 to 95 and has spent nearly 20 years in the athletics department. In August 2015, he was named the department's director of corporate relationships. Those connections paved the way for Sunday's extra bit of MSU exposure. After GM reached out, Schlesinger sent Michigan State hockey jerseys to the West Coast, where the commercial was filmed. It's not the first time Michigan State athletics has been featured in a commercial. A decade ago, the football team had a small spot in an ad for Comcast/Xfinity. Nothing compared to Sunday in terms of prestige, though. The ratings for NFL games are through the roof, Schlesinger said. They are some of the most watched programs, basically, in the history of television. That was a lot of exciting football. Michigan State hockey coach Danton Cole didn't watch the AFC or NFC title games, but he did catch the commercial. My phone was kind of blowing up Sunday night. Everybody from family and friends to alums, said Cole, who's in his 5th season guiding the Spartans. It was kind of cool. Well, he wasn't aware of the behind-the-scenes work that went into his program securing a role in a national TV commercial. Cole said he knew it had to do with the good relationships the school establishes with its corporate partners. It was a little product placement, Cole said, so it was real nice to see. Schlesinger had seen it long before Sunday. He had an advanced screening of the commercial in early January. After that, he went to work, because Nike and the Big Ten Conference also have their logos on the Michigan State jersey. Schlesinger had to check with both the multinational apparel titan and the league. If either had objected to their logo being used in the ad, changes would follow, namely trying to remove their logo from the jersey. But fortunately, we didn't have to go down that road, Schlesinger said, or consider those alternatives. Even though he had viewed the ad multiple times prior to its national TV release, Schlesinger admitted he was anxious for it to finally air. And while he knew it was coming at some point, he said neither GM nor the TV broadcast partners carrying the games informed him exactly which commercial break would mark its debut. I was just waiting to see it, he said. It was exciting when it came out. He's been equally enthused about the response he's seen to Michigan State's inclusion in the ad. We're getting a lot of positive feedback over here about it, Schleichinger said. It definitely was seen by a lot of people. Some of those compliments have been face-to-face, too, since Schleichinger had sworn an oath of secrecy. No other people within the department knew it was happening. I kept it quiet, Schleichinger said. GM didn't want to release exactly what the commercial was going to be, so not many people knew it was coming, but people were pretty pleased to see it and excited about it. Since Sunday, Schleichinger said he's already gone back and watched the ad multiple times. Chevy posted the commercial on its official YouTube page Sunday. Viewers won't have to go to the internet to continue seeing it, though. Schleichinger noted that the ad will run throughout the forthcoming Winter Olympics, which are going on right now. So for the foreseeable future, the rest of the country regularly will see Michigan State's hockey team grace their TV during commercial breaks. A few alums who are now GM executives, Schleicher said, couldn't be happier. Yet it never would have come to pass without continually cultivating partnerships. It's just relationship-driven, Schleichinger said. We've had relationships with these corporate partners for a long, long period of time. It just worked out. How cool. All right, let's take another break, and then we will wrap it up with one more article here, and we'll take one last look at around the league and see how all the teams are doing, see who's winning. This is the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm Zachary Puplis. We'll be right back.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is your host, Beantown Brandon from Titletown Sports, right here on the greatest, and I mean the absolute greatest podcast team right here on IESR Sports Radio. That's right. Come join me every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live from the greatest city on earth, Boston, Massachusetts, here to talk about all things Boston sports. That is right, baby. We get in to talk about some Boston Red Sox, Boston Celtics, Boston Bruins, New England Revolutions, Boston College Eagles, and of course, your host's favorite team of all, the New England Patriots, baby. Woo! That's right. Come join your host, Beantown Brandon, and let's relive all the glory days of the past, all the great championships that we've endured, all the horrible, heartbreaking losses that even yours truly chooses to forget. So you know what? Grab an ice-cold Samuel Adams. Come with me to Faneuil Hall as we go pick up that lobster roll we've been craving earlier in the week. Let's get some clam chowder, warm ourselves up to some Titletown Sports. Any way you like it, we're going to have a blast. So you know what to do. Join your host, Beantown Brandon, every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, coming at you from the home and the heartland of Boston, Massachusetts, to represent your New England and Boston sports. Weekly, right here on Titletown Sports, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is Boston sports. See you there.
College football, and do you want to hear a college football show dedicated to all that is college football, including junior college and the CCCAA and the NJCAA, the NAIA, and the NCAA, including Division III, Division II, Division I AA in the FCS, and Division I Single A in the FBS. Well then look no further. Join myself, Larry B., and my colleagues, Mr. H-Town Blake Henley, and Mr. Christian Espinoza, each week during the college football season for the latest in college football on 3 and Out College Edition, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And we're back here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. You're listening to The Neutral Zone. I'm your host, Zach Puplis. Adam Karnick is off tonight. He is feeling under the weather, but we wish him the best. One last little read here and some score updates, and we'll get out of here for the night. So one of the games we referenced earlier, Flyers were up 4-2 over the Penguins, and I had said upset alert, right? Not so fast, my friend. In the eternal words of Coach Corso from College Game Day, Penguins won 5-4 in overtime. Wow. Whew. Let's see who powered that comeback. Let's see. Philadelphia had goals from Claude Giroux. Lawton, Sealer, Braun, and Penguins had goals from Simon, of course, Crosby, Gensel, and Roweedle in the third period to tie it at 4, and a goal in overtime by Chris Letang won it. But one of those goals, the one by Sidney Crosby, happened to be his 500th career NHL goal. For more on that, we go to ESPN. Sidney Crosby, Nets' 500th career goal, joins Mario Lemieux as the only Pittsburgh Penguins to reach that feat. Pittsburgh Penguins captain Sidney Crosby. Sidney Crosby scored his 500th career goal Tuesday night. He's the second player in franchise history to do so. Crosby broke a 1-1 tie with the Philadelphia Flyers 16 minutes and 34 seconds into the first period, scoring on the power play with an assist from Evgeny Malkin. Perhaps it was fitting that Malkin was represented in the goal, as the two superstars have been at the forefront of a franchise resurgence, leading the Penguins to 3 Stanley Cup titles since entering the league. As the goal horn sounded around the PPG Paints Arena, the entire Penguins team joined Crosby in celebration along the sideboards next to Flyers goaltender Carter Hart. The goal was Crosby's 14th of the season, and not long after the tally, the Penguins tweeted out a video from owner Mario Lemieux, the only other player in franchise history to get to 500. Lemieux, who led the Penguins to 2 Stanley Cup titles in the 1990s, finished his career with 690 goals. That is remarkable. I've been able to witness most of them, Lemieux said of Crosby's tallies, and I'm sure there will be plenty more in the future. Crosby, who led the Penguins to a 4-2 win over the New Jersey Devils on Sunday, played a shift at the end of the game with an open net on the other end of the ice, but never got a shot off, setting the stage for the feat on home ice against one of the franchise's fiercest rivals. The goal was Crosby's 50th against the Flyers. 50th and 500 at the same time. Cool. And came in a game where the Penguins were shooting for an 8th straight victory. The rally after a topsy-turvy start to the season had the Penguins in first place in the Metropolitan Division as play began on Tuesday. Crosby, 34, the number 1 overall pick in 2005, has only played for the Penguins in his career, and though he's battled injuries this season, he appears at the top of his game. Tuesday was his 38th game of the season, and he had 44 points and was averaging 19 minutes and 45 seconds time on the ice, headed into an in-state battle with Philadelphia. His career high in goals came in the 2009-2010 season when he finished with 51, and he's topped 30 goals 9 times. So congratulations, Sidney Crosby. Okay, throughout the rest of the league tonight, Capitals are up 1-0 against the Predators at the end of the second. The Blue Jackets are down 1-2. Let me restart that one. Flames are leading the Blue Jackets 2-1. There we go. End of the first. And the Stars and Avalanche are at the end of the first period, with the Stars leading 1-0. Blues beat the Senators 5-2. Lightning beat the Devils 6-3. No surprise there. Talked about the overtime thriller already. Penguins over the Flyers 5-4. Sabres over the Islanders 6-3. Rangers over the Bruins 2-1 in a shootout. And with Oilers and Kings still yet to come. Oilers are 25-18-3 on the season, and Kings are 24-16-7. Looks like Karnak and my teams are both off. Let's see here. My Red Wings play the Rangers on Thursday at 7. Red Wings are still... they seem to... win a couple games, lose a couple games. Win a couple games, lose a couple games. And they're still right at 500. 22-22-6. And the Rangers are 31-13-4. Karnak talks about the home field advantage that Detroit has, or home ice advantage. So where is this game being played? Madison Square Garden. Oh yeah, Rangers got that. And his Blackhawks play the Blue Jackets Thursday at 8:30. Blue Jackets are 23-22-1, and the Blackhawks are 18-24-7. Alrighty, well, it's been fun. We will get out of here for the night. But we want to, again, thank our sponsors, the Southern California Warriors, Background Check International, our fan of the month, Spuds Chat. He's a Rams fan in San Diego, and he's been a guest on 3 and Out throughout the playoffs. For Adam, I am Zach. You're listening to The Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Thanks again for joining us tonight, and be good. Stay out of the penalty box.